What's good, everybody? It's RFG back at it today, and I just wanted to go over a very interesting topic and something that I feel is very, very important and very simple information, but it basically like went right over my head, and I learned something new. You know what I'm saying? I learned something new about a week ago, and it absolutely blew my mind. And I felt like I had to share it with my subscribers, and it is very, very profound information. Okay. These two symbols that I stumbled upon are known as the North Node and the South Node. When I say node, I'm saying N, like Nancy, ODE, NODE. The North Node and the South Node. When you look at these symbols, okay, it's gonna draw a picture in your head, and it's going to be very, very similar to what we know as a horseshoe. Okay, the North Node and the South Node is gonna look familiar to the horseshoe. The symbol is so ancient. Okay, it goes all the way back to Babylon, because the true form of astrology started in Babylon. Okay, what we know is ancient Mesopotamia, and this is probably the most significant astrological symbol to ever exist. Okay, this is, like I said, this is right up there with Saturn in somebody's natal chart. Okay, this is the symbol for the North Node, and this is the symbol for the South Node. Okay, it's basically, it looks like two horseshoe symbols. One is upside down, one is right side up. The right side up one is the North Node. The upside down one is known as the South Node. Now, what is the North Node and the South Node? The South Node is where the moon takes a downward spin in its orbit when it orbits around the Earth. And the South Node is an actual stargate near the equator of the Earth. Okay? The South Node is a major stargate going towards the southern hemisphere of the Earth. Now, on the opposite side of the Earth, you have the North Node, where the moon goes back up in an upward motion around the Earth. Okay? Then it aligns with another stargate, which is known as the North Node, but the North Node is behind the Earth. Okay? So, what I'm getting at is, when the moon crosses this stargate, okay, wherever the moon and this stargate are located when you were born dictates your destiny. Okay, let me explain. We all come back in this dimension through stargates. We all come into this physical realm, this physical reality, through physical stargates. So the North Node, the South Node and the North Node are the two biggest stargates on this planet. Okay? And so wherever the moon is in relation to the North Node or the South Node dictates our destiny on this planet. Okay? So whatever star constellation that this South Node is aligned with shows the past deeds that we did and the last life that we did that weren't so good. You see what I'm saying? Basically, karmic debt. The South Node represents karmic debt. So, it's kind of hard to explain, but when you start to study it, it opens itself up more and more. Okay? So the North Node basically shows the positive side to our destiny, and the South Node shows the negative side to our destiny. Basically, past life karma. The South Node here basically represents the same thing as Saturn does. Okay, because Saturn restricts certain things in our lives that we had too much of in our past lives. If we had too much of something in our past lives and we took advantage of that, the Creator is going to restrict that in this life to teach us a lesson. To teach us a lesson, whether we had too much material resources, whether we had too many spouses outside of our marital partner, whether we had too many friends that we took advantage of, too many family members that we took advantage of in the past life. The Creator is going to restrict that in this life by having the south node align with a certain astrological object to restrict that portion of our life. So this south node can be aligned with the moon, with any other astrological object or any other star constellation to show us our past life karma and what our true destiny is in this life. Okay? So when we're talking about the south node and the north node, we're talking about two stargates where our soul actually physically came to this dimension on this earth. Okay? And the moment we were born, wherever the moon, then the north node, the moon, the north node, and Saturn were aligned, showed us our destiny and why we came back here on this planet. Okay, this is very, very profound information. Very, very profound information, and I'm about to prove it. This south node and north node, this north node and this south node, okay, when we look at it, it's basically the same damn thing as a horseshoe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the same thing as the horseshoe. And what does the horseshoe represent? The horseshoe represents luck. Okay, luck. It originally represented destiny. Okay, because when you're dealing with astrology and you look at the north node symbol and the south node symbol, it represents destiny. What the Creator put our souls back in this third dimension, back on this planet for. Okay? Wherever the moon was located around these nodes, the south node and the north node, dictate why our souls came back here on this planet. All about destiny, okay? All about destiny. Okay? All about the destiny. But then, when the Zionist Jews got their hands on the horseshoe, they concocted a plan so diabolical and so evil, they took our minds off of destiny and got us under this doctrine. Okay? So now, this horseshoe now represents luck. And by us believing in luck, we think that this beautiful universe operates off of chance and the luck of the draw type of scenario. You see what I'm saying? But if you understand the true origin of these two symbols, you're going to find out that it is nothing but destiny. And wherever the north node and the south node are located in your astrological birth chart is what you did in the past life and what you're supposed to be doing in this life. So Saturn, so ladies and gentlemen, Saturn, the north node and the south node are pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. Okay, the moon is a reincarnation object. I'm going to repeat. The moon is a reincarnation object. Okay? If we don't escape the moon's magnetism, the moon projects our electromagnetic energy, which is our soul, back into the north node or the south node, which are stargates. Okay, I know this is kind of complicated for some, but if you look at the DreamWorks logo, If you look at the DreamWorks logo shows a man with a fishing rod on the moon, and he's fishing for souls. See, look, this is the fishing rod, fishing into the north node, pull souls out, put souls back in. That's how it goes. Take souls out of the atmosphere, put their asses back through the south node or the north node. And wherever the south node and north node are located on the planet at the moment of our birth, wherever the north node, whatever sign the north node is in, like the star constellation, whatever star constellation the north or the south node are in at the moment of our birth, is a huge indicator on what we did in our past life and what we're supposed to be doing in this life right now. Okay? On a personal level, me personally, I feel like I was alive and up and thriving in the 80s. I died somehow. I do not know. I know I was a man who took advantage of my mother, the relationship I had with my parents. I know that I took advantage of my spouse. Okay, I probably had multiple spouses, and I manipulated the people who are close and around me to my advantage. And I came back in this life, and my mother and my father figure were never together. And I had parental figures try to manipulate me. You see what I'm saying? For a material benefit. You know why? Because I did that to them in my last life. It's called past life karma, people. Past life karma. It is really real. It's real. Okay? That is why I have Saturn in my 5th house, because I had children. I had a faithful spouse. I had a very powerful mother and father, and I took advantage of that. And Saturn restricted that from my life in this life. Okay? Saturn took that out of my life in this life, because that is called past life karma. Past life karma. And these south node and the north node is basically would be behind the earth, because this one is right here, okay, in the Atlantic Ocean. The other one would be in the Pacific Ocean. 2 biggest stargates on this planet. One is known as the north node, other is known as the south node, and they have to do with the positive and negative aspects of who we were in our past lives. Okay? Very, very, very profound information. Very profound information. Like I said, they took these names, which represented destiny. See, when our ancestors talked about these objects and these symbols, they represented destiny. Our ancestors knew that our souls came back here for a reason, for a purpose. Okay? This is garbage. This is garbage. This is crap and garbage. Okay? That is garbage. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is why the Indianapolis Colts have this symbol on their helmet. Okay? They're gonna try to fool us into believing in luck, that the universe operates off of chance. That's why they drafted Andrew Luck to the team with the horseshoe on their symbol, which symbolizes luck to the Zionist Jews, but it symbolized destiny to our ancestors, because according to our ancestors, this is not a symbol of luck or the horseshoe. This is the north node and the south node, which goes back to ancient astrology. Ancient astrology, people. That is the true origin of this symbol. And it is the 2 biggest stargates on this planet, which the moon puts your soul through that stargate, and you're born. And when you're born, wherever this stargate is aligned with, whatever planet or star system it's aligned with, will show you who you were in your past life and what you're supposed to be doing in this life. Like I said, it's called the north node and the south node. And it all has to do with our destiny. This is really mind blowing and mind boggling, because this is on the goddamn Indianapolis Colts helmet, people. So I guarantee you, after they win Super Bowl 51, they're gonna say, was it luck or was it destiny? Was it luck or was it destiny? Mark my words. Mark my damn words. Mark my words. Okay, I promise you. I promise you. And get this. A lot of people don't understand how Vedic numerology works. Vedic numerology, when you're dealing with Vedic numerology, you're technically only dealing with 10 numbers, okay? There's only 10. I don't give a damn if somebody tells you infinity exists. When you're dealing with Vedic numerology, only 10 numbers exist. 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? Those are the only numbers that exist. Okay? Let me explain. Let's say you're dealing with numbers in a month. Okay? Let's say we're dealing with let's say we're dealing with 10, 19, 28. Okay, these three numbers of the month. 1 plus 0 gives you 1. 1 plus 9 gives you 10. 2 plus 8 gives you 10. So when we add 1 plus 0, we're still left with 1. When we add 1 plus 0, we're still left with 1. So what I'm saying is, when you add all the numerical values of these digits, it all goes back to one number. When you add the numerical value of 19 and 28 together, it gives you 10, which gives you 1 again. Okay? So all these numbers go back to 1. And what is 1? What is 1? 1 is the sun. Okay? 1 is the sun. That's why 1 is symbolized, or the sun is symbolized in astrology with the circle with the dot in it. Okay? Because the dot is the sun, where all the planets circle around. The sun, the 1, the all, the Aten. That's why they say the number 10, because it's referring to Aten, which our Kemetic ancestors referred to the sun as Aten. That's how you get the number 10, Aten. Okay? El, when we're talking about the numbers 2, 11, 20, and 29. 2, 11, 20, and 29. Okay, we all know 11. When you add 1 plus 1, that gives you 2. Okay, that gives you 2. So that's going back to 2 energy. So like I said, these are all ruled by the moon. These numbers are ruled by the moon. So 2, you get after that you get 11, and you add 1 plus 1, you get 2. 20. 2 plus 0 gives you 2. 2 plus 9 gives you 11. Okay? Gives you 11. And 1 plus 1, you're back to 2 again. Back to 2 again. This is how Vedic numerology works. It is way more simple than other numerical coding methods. It is the most simple, to the point form of numerology. It makes the most sense, and it is tied to the astrological objects that control our destiny. Okay? So 2 is the moon. 3 is Jupiter. Okay? We have 3, we have 12, we have 21, we have 30. When you add 1 and 2, you get 3. When you add 2 and 1, you get 3. 3 and 0, you get 3. It all goes back to 3. Okay? So on and so forth. When you talk about the number 4, you're talking about Uranus energy. 4, 13, 22, and 31. All going back to the number 4, which is Uranus Same number, same name as Orion when you're talking about etymology. 4, 1 and 3 gives you 4, 2 and 2 gives you 4, 3 and 1 gives you 4. All goes back to the same number, which represents the planet Uranus. 5. Oh yeah, you've been seeing a lot of 5s lately with the Olympics, with Michael Phelps in the 5th lane. Michael Phelps won his 5th gold medal in the 5th lane. Okay, all going back to number 5. The Olympics with 5 rings, with 5 interlocking rings. Okay, like I said, this sports year, 2016 to 2017, is going to be all about the damn 5. All about the 5, the 5-pointed star, where the Super Bowl is being held at. Texas, the land of the 5-pointed star with 5 letters in the name. Okay, when you look at 5, you got 14, you got 23. Okay, and you got 32. There's no month with 32 days in a month, but still, it still adds up to 5. These are numerals that add up to 5 in numerology. Okay, what planet rules the 5 energy? Mercury. Mercury. Who was Mercury? Mercury was the messenger god. Mercury was the messenger god. That's what the number 5 represents. Mercury, the messenger of the gods. Okay, that's why they have a lot of black quarterbacks with number 5, because they want to destroy that messenger. They want to destroy the damn messenger. They want to destroy the messenger god. Goddamn Zionist Jews. Okay, 6. When we're dealing with 6, 15, or 24, or 33, we are dealing with 6 energy, which is Venus energy. Lower 6 chakras, the lower self, Venus, the 666 of this physical matrix that we see with our 2 eyes. Venus also rules beauty. It is ruled by the 6, which is our lower 6 chakras, and the 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons of this damn dimension. 15, 24, 33, same goddamn thing. Okay? Number 7 is the higher 7 chakras. Number 7, 16, and 25. Higher 7 chakras, higher self, our connections with the 4th and the 5th dimension. Number 8 is our restrictions. That's why when you look at it on the side, when you look at it, it looks like handcuffs, okay? And it looks like 2 Ferris wheels intertwined with one another, because that's what it is. Your soul being reincarnated over and over and over and over and over in the goddamn Saturnian matrix of your restriction. That's why it looks like handcuffs, and anything that goes back to the number 8 in numerology represents restrictions. Okay? It looks like the handcuffs. Also, the damn Ferris wheel. Also, number 8 is also ruled by Saturn and Capricorn. Discipline, restriction, teachers, age, time, the restriction of time, the matrix, all ruled by the 8. 9 is the ether 9, the stargate, where our souls ascend upward. Okay, ruled by the planet Mars. The Moors who went to war against the goddamn beast draconians to get our souls spiraling up, to get the hell out of this matrix and get to meet them in the 5th dimension. The 9 spiraling up, not spiraling down in the 6, spiraling up. Okay? And they went to war on Mars to open them damn stargates. That's why the number 9 is ruled by Mars. 9, 18, 27, 36. Go back to 9. Okay? Also, when you add a number to 9, it gives you the same number. Any number that you add to 9 gives you the same number. I'm going to show you what I mean right now. When you add 1 with 9, it's going to give you 10, which goes back to 1 in numerology. When you add a 2 to a 9, it's going to give you a 2 again, because it's going to be 11. 1 plus 1 is going to give you 2 again. Okay? When you add a 3 to a 9, you're going to get 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. right? So 3 and 9 is basically 3. Okay? So the 9 is basically non-existent when you add it to another number in Vedic numerology. Okay? 4 to a 9 is going to give you 13. The 49ers. When you say the San Francisco 49ers, you're saying the San Francisco 13ers. That's really what you're saying. Okay? 4 plus 9 gives you 13. And 1 plus 3 gives you 4. Okay? So when you add 4 and a 9, it's still a 4. When you add a 5 and a 9, 59, in Vedic numerology is still the number 5, because 5 plus 9 is 14. 1 plus 4 gives you 5. Okay? You're back at it. You're back where you started. When you add a simple number to 9, it is going to equal the same simple number. Period. Okay? This is the most simple form of numerology. The most simple form of numerology, and it is the most profound. It is the most accurate and the most profound form of numerology. It's Vedic numerology that our ancient Kemetic ancestors used. Okay? So this is basically gonna wrap it up. That's all I had for today. My next lecture is going to be on the true history of American football, and it is going to be one of the most profound lectures I've ever done in my life. I'm actually going to have somebody videotape me doing that, because the information is just so profound. So I hope I could, I was able to share some life-changing information to people today. I appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody who supported RFG movement, Atlantean movement. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. As a chosen one, man.